I'm happy to be here in this space with you. I am so excited for what 2025 is going to do for us as in our human experience, what it's going to do for our growth, our personal development, and all of the things that we're going to be able to accomplish. You survived 2024. We're going to thrive in 2025. And I'm just really, really happy that you're here. I love you so very big. I mean it wholeheartedly. Hi, welcome to Say More Words, a podcast that was created to emphasize the human experience through stories. I hope that you come here to learn, to expand, and most importantly, learn how to say more words. Speak your story, speak your truth, boo boo. We're so happy you're here. Hey, hi, how are you? Did you miss me? Because I missed y'all. I did. It's been, we're not going to talk about the crazy season. I'm sure it'll come up in some healing episodes and things like that, but we're not going to talk about that. But, it's been a minute and I'm just happy to be here. I'm happy to be in a new year. And you all know that I'm not a new year, new me person. So we're not even talking about, well, we'll talk a little bit about resolutions, but whatever. We're like talking about the unresolutions things today. But I'm not a new year, new me. I've never been like, woo, thank you for a new year, or like, thankful in an exasperated way for a new year. But I'm gonna tell you one thing. Everyone has the ability to change. So I am so glad to say goodbye to 2024 and hello to 2025 and to welcome you with open arms to a new era in our 2025 era. And I say era because my daughter, Frankie, is about to turn 8. And she, of course, wanted a Taylor Swift themed birthday. So we are entering our 8th era this year, and that's it. Her party's next week. And so I'm all in Swiftie land right now. So welcome to our 2025 era. The song of the day is Welcome Back by Mace, because I was like, what am I going to call this episode? And I was like, oh, welcome back. And so now welcome back is like repeat over and over and over again in my head. So how are you? I'm happy to see you. Did you make resolutions? Did you make goals? What does your life look like right now? We haven't gotten together in quite some time to share the tea, to share the experience. And I will tell you, we're gonna be back. We're back every week now, and we have some stellar guests coming up and some stellar topics. And I'm happy to be back in the space with you. So I said we were going to be talking about like unresolutions, and today, on the day that I'm recording this, it is January 14th. That means we have passed officially the second Friday of the year. Does anybody know why that's important? Because the second Friday of the year is known as fail day. Most people fail their resolutions by the second Friday of the year. Are you amongst the crew? Are you in that team? You see, most people set really unrealistic expectations for themselves, but then they don't set themselves up for success and all of these things. And it's just a terrible trash game, basically, spiral, if you will, into despair. And then they aren't successful and they wonder why. And then they're shocked when they're not. It's just wild. This time of the year is wild. I do appreciate all of the people who are going back to the gym, who use this time as a setting off point for better health goals, better habits and routines. And I will tell you that over and over again, if you do not have support in these habits and routines and in things that you are doing, you truly are not going to get anywhere. So you will fail by your fail day. So on resolutions, it's super important to create goals. One, it's important to have goals. We have to have goals. You have to have something you're working towards, but you also have to set realistic expectations. You have to set habits and routines. You have to set up systems that can help aid in your success. And most people don't. And so then they wonder why they fail consistently and regularly. So this is your sign. This is your sign. If you have not yet created those habits and routines or success places or anything like that, then you're going to need to do that in order to be successful this year. When we look at unresolutions and we look at doing something new, and when I say unresolutions, I love a resolution, right? I'm going to do this. But I often find that people who have a resolution are very similar to Michael Scott when he's declaring bankruptcy. It's not real. It is a highlight reel on Instagram, or it's something for them to tell people at dinner parties to make it seem like, oh, I'm doing this, I'm along for the ride. When actually they're not making any advancement in their life. It's you, boo. I'm so sorry. It's been me. I'm not gonna lie to you. Like I've said I'm gonna do something, and then it's like outlandish and weird and doesn't fit my lifestyle at all. So on resolution. In order to create habit or to have successful goals, we have to have habits and routines that support the success and goals. So don't say that you aren't going to eat out anymore and then create a lifestyle in which you are out all of the time and you don't have an opportunity to get home. That's setting you up for success or for failure. Then you're never going to eat. Right. So let's think logically here for a moment about who we are, where we are, and what our lives actually look like and what we are capable of doing. So looking at this year, I will tell you, instead of going about it in numbers, I had to go about it in the sense I do have obviously number goals for my business, but when I'm looking at my life, I had to look at my coaches challenged me, which is very difficult, to look at, day by day, quarter by quarter, month by month, week by week, year by year. We've looked at that before in the past, right? But now I've created a year based off of how I want to feel this year. Instead of the success that I want to have or trying to be futuristic and looking forward, instead of inundating myself with numbers and metrics, I am tackling this year in an unresolution way of I want to feel a certain way. And if I start to feel off of that path, I need to pivot and change and move into something that is more supportive for myself. Now, I have been called a people pleaser in the past. Actually, just recently, yesterday, a friend told me that one of the best qualities and worst qualities of me is that I'm a people pleaser. And as such, I have created parts of my life that is to keep others happy. See, it is really hard to do personal development work and to become personally aware because it just doesn't ever stop. I've been in this field now for, gosh, I don't even know how long, 15 plus years. And I've been doing this work and I've been helping people and I've been working on myself and I've been going to therapy and I have all these coaches and we do all these things. This is all true. But still, sometimes people will say things and you'll come to a pivotal moment in your life in which you have to move and change. And that was one of them. And the only true way to recover from being a people pleaser is to start to take care of yourself, to give yourself grace, to learn more about yourself, to create routines, habits that support you first and others second. Simple enough. A lot of people refuse to do that because their whole life is centered around helping others. Fine. You do you, but for me right now what I am looking at doing is creating a life that I don't want to run away from, creating a life that is supportive to me, creating a life that is supportive to how I want to feel. And when you start to create a life around how you want to feel, it's very, very uncomfortable because you start to realize that things don't work sometimes, that you have to pivot or drastic things have to change, or maybe you have to start listening to your intuition. Maybe you have to create less number goals and more qualitative goals on your life. Creating a life, I will tell you, and I'll let you know at the end of the year if this was successful or not. Creating a life on how I want to feel is crunchy and hard. It's hard to create metrics around feelings. So, long story less long, I am creating a life where I feel love and joy every day. And in order to feel love and joy every day, sometimes it's that love and joy is given to me, and sometimes that love and joy is created by me. And if I get into a place or a position in which I am not feeling that, it allows me, it alerts me to the fact that something has got to give, something has got to change. So it's an unresolution for me. It's less a metric that I have to meet at each month and each week and each day, but a feeling. It has been wildly successful these first 14 days of the month because I have started to notice more. I'm first of all, I'm seeking out joy and love, but the universe and God are conspiring in my favor and sending it to me pretty consistently. When I'm having a down moment, all of a sudden I get a message. I got a message yesterday. I hope she's okay with me sharing this. I got a message yesterday from Angie Jones. Angie Jones and I went to college together. We lived in Towers South, the dirty, at the University of Wisconsin, Eau Claire. And we looked similar. I mean, we do look similar, especially for a not diverse campus. We looked very similar, and we were friends on campus. And actually, she was my. This is illegal activity. She was my fake ID. And she how I got into the college or into the bars because I was younger than everybody else in my grade. I'm 36 now. It's fine. So Angie Jones, and I had mentioned her this weekend, and sure enough, the universe popped her into my inbox, and she sent me a message so lovely that I had to close it because I had to be on film later that day. And when I got off of film, I read it again, and then I sobbed uncontrollably. It was so beautiful on being proud of me and how much she loved me, and it was beautiful, and it was exactly what I needed. It was exactly what I needed to hear at that moment in time to give. I'm a words of affirmation person through and through. Like I need them. And it was like the perfect oomph. It was, I had put a cry out to the universe, asking for that joy and asking for that love, and it showed up in tenfolds. It's a beautiful, wonderful thing. So living in a place of love and joy is allowing me to live in a place of that, or living in the feelings of love and joy is allowing me to live in a place of creativity, imagination again, which is allowing me to listen to my intuition, which is allowing me to ask and believe. My verse of the year, if you are of the Christian faith, if you're not, that's okay. But my verse of the year is Matthew 7:7. My dad had sent it to me in a letter once, and it's ask, seek, knock. And that's kind of what I am, that is my verse of the year, and what I'm kind of living by this year. So I'm living by, I don't want to say more natural things, but I'm living by those metrics as opposed to number metrics. And I'm doing that to help with my grace, to help with my self-worth, to help with the human experience. Instead of being inundated with numbers and metrics and fear, I'm being inundated with love and excitement and encouragement and creativity and new things to work on. It's a very beautiful thing. It's so beautiful. And so that's kind of like my unresolution. That's how I'm choosing to live this year. Uh I'm super excited to bring you on my journey as we go through this process. With this, I'm not telling you have to live your year through feelings. I'm not telling you have to do that. But what I am asking you that is that if you've tried resolutions in the past and they didn't work, or you tried all these goals and they didn't work, I want you to kind of think about realistic expectations on what you are capable of doing, and then also set up your systems, your organization, your metrics. I'm going to drop in the show notes my challenge that I'm doing that's starting January 20th. That's going to get you back into a place of habits and routines and tracking them. I hope that you have fun sparkly markers and pens like I do to do this challenge, but it's just a way for you to get back into the zone of this is what successful people do in order to gain success. It's not just chasing numbers, it's chasing livelihood and chasing what being a human is. So you'll be able to see that in the show notes. Also, if you would go on and like and follow Say More Words and the Tamika Taylor on Instagram and Facebook, you'll get updates from us as well. But as we go through this year, I encourage you to create an environment of success, not an environment of discouragement. A lot of times people create goals and they don't meet them, and they do that sometimes because they thrive on the discouragement, or they thrive on the failure, or they thrive on a lot of negative feelings. And I will tell you, from the positive, you will be more fruitful. So ask, seek, knock. Be more into your body, be more present, enjoy the human experience, and create goals that are realistic with your habits and what you can accomplish in this year. I'm not going to tell you that the metaphysical isn't possible, that big things aren't possible. You can drastically change your life in a year. But what I'm asking you is, you need to be mindful of your human experience in that. So, welcome back. I am so happy to be back. I'm happy to be here in this space with you. I am so excited for what 2025 is going to do for us as in our human experience, what it's going to do for our growth, our personal development, and all of the things that we're going to be able to accomplish. You survived 2024. We're going to thrive in 2025. And I'm just really, really happy that you're here. So, thanks for sticking around. Thanks for loving me. I love you so very big. I mean it wholeheartedly, and I can't wait to see you next week. I'll talk to you soon.